Okay.
Got Palestinian colours on as well. So.
Right, we're all ready to go actually. So good afternoon.
Afternoon.
New season starting out.
Yeah.
New season starting out. We're at the Globe pub in Brentford. All very excited. First game of the season, Brentford versus Charlton, and I'm sitting there with two Brentford fans, with the Charlton fans stuck on the train. We're waiting for them to come, but doesn't matter. We've got loads to talk about anyway.
Let down.
But it's Brentford versus Charlton today. This is the first FanStand of the season, live from the Globe. We're all drinking our London Pride, and we're looking forward to it. Loads to talk about now. Got Toby, Lord Lucan on Twitter. I mean Toby Lou. We've got Toby.
Hello.
As well. And let's get into it, guys. I mean, just have a little brief intro, Lou, about yourself.
I'm a season ticket holder in the ever-changingly named Ealing Road stand, or Buyer stand, or Leeds United, or wherever it is. Looking forward to resuming our League One-esque war with Charlton. Friends reunited today. I hope the stewards will be as heavily handed as they have been in the past.
Yeah, I'm Toby. I'm a season ticket holder in Ealing Road. Go home and away. Problem is I'm in the position that my best mate is a Charlton fan, so I particularly want to win today. I think we go off rightly as favourites, but we'll see.
It's all good. So listen, and I'm Billy theBee. I'm from Beesotted fanzine. We had a fanzine for Brentford. We're going for 20 odd years, and we enjoyed writing about football, about Brentford, about anything really. So listen, while we wait for these Charlton boys to turn up, let's just talk a little bit about last season. We might as well talk about last season. Last season we were in division run. You know, what was your favourite moment or moments from last season?
My favourite moment was the final whistle at Leyton Orient. I think the final whistle at Leyton Orient, when I think that's when we really knew we'd taken a pretty massive step. I mean, that was a cup final. We needed, both teams were absolutely desperate to win it, and with the fact that we did it in such adversity after we had. We played 40 minutes with 10 men, and it was just the most horrible 40 minutes I've ever had. And to have the relief at the final whistle then was pretty incredible.
Well, I think it's the run, the unbelievable run. Was it 19 games unbeaten, just the Carlisle Cup game? Yeah. The run that sort of never really ended, because even when we lost, we sort of bounced back. And yeah, I'm not sure if that's the longest. Is that our longest run, Bill?
As far as I know, I mean, again, facts and figures, I'm pretty sure that is one of our longest runs.
It was equal too.
And the fact that we won so many games out of that as well was pretty special. I mean, for me, that Charlton game was brilliant. It was a laugh actually. It was a sunny day down the river. Loads of, I still now don't know why they gave us half the ground pretty much.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It was amazing. They just gave us, which I just thought played into our hands really. But yeah, but other than that, it was a good day. It was a good day out. And for me, that was
the day we went up. Really,
yeah,
I think. Another moment was also when it's a game that will be forgotten quite easily. But when we beat Crawley, which was 2 games before Preston when we went up, and that was when you really thought it all kind of came together. Other teams had lost, and suddenly, from being in a tight promotion battle, we were 1 win away from going up to the Championship. That was a big moment for me.
Yeah, so sort of almost sleptwalk into promotion, didn't we? Sleptwalk. Whatever it is. Yeah, but we got there. But I don't think, like I said, there was a point where we didn't think we wouldn't do it. Rotherham and Orient weren't going to nick it off us.
Not at all. I think it's quite amazing that we've got Rotherham in a few weeks' time, and it's going to be a little tester for us to see how we
we didn't fare particularly well there last time. I mean, they probably put in one of their best performances of the season. We put in one of our worst. I think that will be a tough game. I think all 3 promoted sides look pretty good, to be honest. I think it's going to be a very competitive league. There's only one obviously weak team, in Blackpool.
Fulham. Yeah, well, you say. I mean, this is the thing. The first month is surprisingly Friends United.
Yeah.
It's like League One. We've got Blackpool, Charlton,
Brighton.
We've got all these teams that we used to play in. Birmingham. We played in the cup.
Watford's an early one as well.
It will be. I suppose so many players have come in and so many players have gone, it'll be interesting to see whether the teams that have gone up and teams that have gone down have changed their style for what they think they need to do in the Championship.
Yeah. So I mean, you been to many pre-seasons, lads, at all?
Joe, I have done nothing. I've become the champagne socialist, glory hunting fan. This is my first ever season of no pre-season since I was 7, since the late 80s.
Any reason? Because the excitement was obviously far too much last season.
Well, I'm doing at least 36 games this year, so I need the brownie points with the wife. So, get him in early.
But you've obviously been reading up on what's coming in, so you've obviously got a vision.
Welcome to a wildly uninformed opinion here.
But Toby's been to, I've been to a load of pre-seasons, and Toby has as well.
I read the websites, I'm glued to it, I hear from people that are at the games, so the interesting thing for me is that, is the policy, our transfer policy being recognised by people like the Peterborough chairman as they're doing the right thing, they're bringing the best players from below them, the best players we can get.
Well, that's the great thing. These players are still hungry. They're still hungry to prove themselves at a high level. And the thing is, as you get lower down the leagues, the gap isn't that big. I mean, people say, "Oh, great, he's played in the conference," but even then, it's a decent standard of quality of football he's playing. And I'm so happy that we're signing that kind of player rather than the championship veterans.
Well, McLean, Mikel Smith, they've all played conference. Currently, so why can't Gray make the step up? Why can't Hogan? We've got to gamble as well.
And as I interject, we've just seen a couple of us Charlton boys have actually moved. They've just stepped in. Actually, we might have to get them on the table as well, boys. When you're ready, just come and sit down and we can have a little chat. Get your beers in first. That's the most important thing.
Get your cheese hats on.
That's right. That's right. And we'll eject you out the pub by the stewards. Yeah. But yeah, we were just talking about the new signings and stuff like that. I mean,
1-0 Bristol City.
Oh, Bristol City have gone 1-0 up. Bristol City are looking pretty hot actually for this season, aren't they?
Fucking a bunch of Ribenas in the.
I didn't even realise that team.
The retro away pitch. Anyway, enough about that. Enough about the past.
But Toby, you've seen quite a few of the friendlies. I've seen you all pretty much all the ones that I've been to, and how do these new players stand out for you?
Well, they've all really impressed for me. The one Pritchard, who we've got on loan from Tottenham, looks an exceptional player.
Via Swindon, of course.
Via Swindon, exactly. Getting Swindon's best player every year, which is an enjoyable tradition, I must say. He looks a fantastic player. He's just a fantastic attacking midfielder. He's got brilliant vision. He's not afraid to go for goal. He's incredibly skillful. He's got a free kick in him. He looks brilliant. Then Olubajo, Donaldson, but 10 years younger. He looks a great player. And then Andre Gray, who's just what I love about him. He's always looking to make runs in behind. He's always kind of on the ball. He never kind of mopes around like a kind of lone striker does sometimes. He's always looking to make a quick run in behind, and I think he looks a really good buy.
We await all the lazy, great Andre headlines. And it's funny that the Swindon pick. We may as well. Swindon should invite Frank McCarlan to their end of season.
That's right.
Official.
I don't know if you. Obviously, we at the end of the last season, because when Orient got to the playoff final and Olubajo scored that absolutely. Hold on a second, we got Dave DLT Thompson is just squeezing himself in here. Charlton, there they are, always late to the game, aren't they?
Just waiting on Jim Davidson.
Introducing you to Mr. Dave DLT Thompson.
Hello.
And just explain who you are, Dave, and how long you've been supporting Charlton.
Charlton for 30-40 years. My team from boyhood, my team from my father and my father's father. Top team. Exciting season for us, I think.
And as we come on to it as well, let's just have a little. We've got Cameron sitting there as well. He's the son and dad combination here. Also, you've got a camera behind you, mate.
Screw you, health and safety.
This has all been well rehearsed, as you can see. Right, listen.
This never happen.
That's right. But listen, it's all basically we're in the pub. We're just talking about football, and we've got Dave DLT and we've got Cameron. They've just come over from South East London. Bit of a struggle on the trains, but that's what happens. That's it's just all good. And like I said, you're a Charlton fan for you. I know that we've always had our little tussles over the years about the Charlton, and then all of a sudden you broke away and then you went to the Premier League, and you left us alone, and we were crying. But now we're back together. You know, it's like old lovers. Well, not quite actually.
I don't think we're engaged as teenagers and then go their separate ways and realise they've failed in life.
So I've been actually quite
up as 50-year-olds.
I've been quite looking forward to this game for quite a while actually. So yeah, but I mean, you know, you've been through some highs and lows. You actually did. Charlton did what we did this year, except for you actually won the league in division. The old third tier, as they call it, a few seasons ago.
That's right.
And if I remember rightly, I mean, we sat inside this pub together. You said that it was, you know, one of your best seasons supporting Charlton. You actually really enjoyed it, didn't you?
Very enjoyable.
And why is that?
Just to win again. You know, you've had 6 or 7 years of relegation after relegation, then we started winning again, and you know, to be there, witnessing a glory year for you know, we hadn't had one for a long time, and that was, you know, key. Brilliant.
The thing about it is that you said you was winning. You were a bit of a so the old manager at the time. Who was the manager?
When we were promoted?
Yeah.
Chris Powell.
It's Chrissy Powell, of course it was, you know what I'm saying? And I was going to talk about that because I was sitting down there, Chrissy Powell, he got sacked last season.
I mean, quite got sacked. I don't think you described it to me as sacked.
Well, yeah, from what I heard, and the word on the street is that they'd renegotiated his contract.
Yeah.
And then he signed it and sent it back, and then the chairman guy said, actually, no, don't bother. So I think he was kind of sort of told to leave.
The problem was he was running out of steam. You know, I love Chris Powell, fantastic servant for Charlton. You know, lighted up Charlton, brilliant motivator. But the truth is, I think he lacked tactical awareness. At the end of his tenure there, we began to run out of steam. We kept on playing the long ball. We relied on balls up to Kermagan. It was pretty boring.
I thought he could organise the defence well. Though. He was. I mean, you could tell he was a fullback as a player. You know, you could tell as a manager that he was a defender. I mean,
he lost games though, so at the end of the day.
No, but I mean, I saw quite a bit of Charlton. I thought defensively you were still reasonably decent.
Well, we used to do that really well. We used to go.
I mean, attackingly there was a big thing.
Chris Powell was. I mean, Chris Powell was absolutely fantastic. It's a shame he's not still at the club in some way or another. But it was pretty dire watching Charlton those years because you had all the glory in the away games. I mean, some of the games you played to, it was great. And some others, most of the fans couldn't go. You know, north of England and so on. And we'd win 1-0, 2-0 away, or we'd get a draw against the top team away. And we were brilliant away, but that's all we had. We had a game of closing teams down in away games. At home games, it was torture. We didn't really have any success. Once we went to the Championship in the First Division, it was brilliant. But in the Championship, we didn't really make any headway. And it seemed to lack. You know, usually you see a few tactical changes and you turn a game, but we never seem to be able to do it. We never seem to turn a game with the Valley. I mean, that's an exaggeration, I know, but that's how it felt towards the end.
So question, because it's interesting, because you talked about the step up to the Championship. So is it a big step up? You know, I mean, you guys actually, you kind of, for the league you're in, you romped the league. You actually did really well. You were out of there. See you later.
Yeah, I think so. Bradley Wright-Phillips has sort of tested that. When he was in Charlton in the First Division, he was out as well. You know, he used to get up off his seat to watch him when he had the ball. You know, as soon as he had the ball, he'd get up off his seat and he'd watch him, you know, push towards goal, and you'd think they have a bloody good chance to score it. In the Championship, you know, he didn't play many games, but even when he did play, you felt that nothing was going to happen. You knew it wasn't going to happen, and it was just a little bit men against boys, you know, by the time we got there.
I think with strikers it's particularly common because a lot of the time they rely on defensive mistakes. You know, people like that, you know, just rely on, and the higher you get, the fewer they make, so the fewer chances you get.
Very much.
But again, you know, you talk about that. Was it Bradley Wright-Phillips? Was it the way that you were playing? Was it your system? Was it the people around him? Because you know, obviously he's the highest scorer in the MLS. He's the first English player to score against in the MLS All-Stars game weekend, and he scored against Bayern Munich.
Man United beat them 7-1. So.
I know. Listen, I'm just throwing it into the pot.
It's not really football.
Oh, you are.
Man United beat them 7-1. It's silly.
Yeah. Well, you know. Yeah, listen, I'm just saying. So basically, you're saying that, you know, if the Red Bulls came over and played Charlton now, they would lose about 5 or 6-0.
No, I don't think I said that. I don't think I actually said that.
No, sorry. I'd like to twist the few words.
I'm just saying, it was. I mean, Bradley Whitefield was absolutely brilliant player for us when we were in the first division. But it was a shock, really, to see how he faded in the Championship. I was quite surprised.
All right, so talk about, just nicely bringing us into Bradley White-Phillips, players who play for both teams. Bradley White-Phillips, interestingly, also played for us the following season. I was I called you up and I was very excited about him, and we stuck behind him at the time. But in retrospect, to be fair, is that if he actually had his goal-scoring touch, I would say that we would have been in this division a year earlier, 100%. He didn't do the business, did he?
No, he didn't.
And that was in the first division.
Yeah, that was in the first division.
You know,
League One. I forget what it's called. What is it? That one below.
But is it a case that he might have actually had a great year with you, and he actually fell off anyway because he obviously fell off with us?
Possibly. It may be that. I was a bit surprised he didn't succeed with you. I was surprised. I did say to you at the time I thought he'd be a great addition to your team because he's what I concluded was he was a League One player.
I suppose a good League One player that gets used to being surrounded by Championship players and then gets dropped back into League One.
2-0 Bristol City.
Doesn't always do well.
No, 1-0. Sorry, 1-0.
That's right.
Charlton players and Brentford players. There's a whole load of Charlton players.
All the H's, Hayes, Hamer.
Hamer,
Did he break your heart too?
I won't say break our heart. I was always a privileged to have him in this, and I thought he was always a little bit too good for where we were at the time. I thought it was excellent, Hamer. A lot of Charlton fans wouldn't necessarily agree, but I've always had a lot of time for him.
Do you think he's going to play much for Leicester?
Well, I don't know. I was impressed when he played, I think, the game against you and your fans to give him a bit of jip.
Yeah.
And he turned
we were all very respectful, giving him a good ovation when he came out. Because that was the first game he played after we went to you.
Yeah.
And it was a 1-0 win for you. It was a kind of typical good away win kind of thing.
That's what we were doing.
And it was a kind of 65, 70th minute goal from Wright Phillips. And then the minute they scored, of course, he started time wasting. So we just completely turned on the display that we've been giving a really good ovation to a good keeper of ours. Suddenly, the minute he started taking the goal again.
You totally stitched us up with Paul Hayes. So
I was quite surprised at that because he turned around to you and said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I was a loyal servant to Brentford."
I was a bit.
And you were shouting off.
But what
were you supposed to do? Waste time? We're 1-0 up in the game.
The football fans are irrational people.
It's professional. I was a bit disappointed with that. As was Hamer.
Yes, I bet he was as well. So there's other ones like Hermann Hreidarsson, played for both.
Fantastic.
Yeah, the double H.
You knew it was like having a Viking on the side. It really was. He was like, he was unbelievable, especially when we were losing. Remember the Premiership days when we were losing games, and he just had a roar about it, and he just got so excited because he just said, "Come on, we're going to get back and we're going to win this bloody game."
He used to live in I think not Godalming, but he used to live just south of the M25, around about sort of Godalming way or something like that. Godstone, I think it was. And I remember we did a Beesotted interview with him back in the day, and we tried. This is how cheesy we get. We tried to get to do an interview with him in Iceland, I think in Croydon. He wasn't having any of it, surprisingly. I think we interviewed him in the pub.
Patch. Yeah, sure.
So it was quite bad. Keith Jones as well, or Aubrey as we called him, Keith Aubrey Jones.
I was surprised that I didn't know that he lived in Surrey. Can't find a Viking in Surrey, old Hreidarsson.
No, it's not. But,
no, Keith Jones, I don't know a lot about Keith Jones.
No, you don't. Well, I'll tell you a story about Keith Jones. You don't remember this one again. You actually sold a house to Keith Jones once, and I remember you rang me up and said, "I've just done a Brentford player, and I've just sold a house to him. His name's Keith Jones." And I just thought you were the Dom Dada at the time. I just thought, mate, you have sold a house to my favourite player, And I can't remember, it's down Tooting way or something like that.
Well, there's a few. We had a few. We had a house too. There's a guy who played for Charlton, went to Newcastle from Charlton. Long skill guy. Anyway, comes to me in a moment. So we had a few. Darren someone, played for Charlton. Good player. Went to Crystal Palace. Anyway, don't worry. It comes to
Darren Ambrose. Oh, okay. All right.
They let a house to him, Okay. Many years ago.
Miguel Lira, You weren't happy with him.
I like him. He was a bit of an entertainer, and he had a link with the fans. He seems to have a link with the fans everywhere he goes. But he has these sort of episodes during games where he just falls asleep, or just goes, you know, I don't know what he's thinking about, but he ain't thinking about the game, and he loses concentration.
He just dropped back to League One, is he now?
I don't know. I mean, he's been dropped by. He's actually signed, because I know Wednesday dropped him.
Yeah, he's left
He's got a bloody good agent. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
He's got a bloody good
I must
agent.
admit, when he came to us, we were excited. Then we were a bit disappointed.
I think warned you.
Yeah, you did warn us at that point. Yeah. You know. So David Button, of course, the goalkeeper. Our current goalkeeper now. Play for both.
Yeah.
My favourite. I could put this flag in the sand. My favourite player out of all the play for both players, I think it's got to be the guy who you sold his house to, is Keith Jones. I just thought he was brilliant. Yeah.
I reckon Hreidarsson was my man. Absolutely brilliant.
I got Hreidarsson as well, actually.
Yeah. One of Curb's favourite players, Hreidarsson. Put Curb's in there.
I'm on my own. Any Paul Hayes out there? So listen, just quickly, we're going to talk about. I mean, we was chatting about our new players. We brought a load of new players in this season. We've both been to a few season friendly. We're very excited. People like Odobaju scored a wonder goal against Orient, and also scored a wicked goal against Crystal Palace as well last week. It was straight out the old, not even the textbook. It's like Maradona's guide to goals. And just to say about TV as well, this Brentford Charlton game is on the box today as well for any of you out there who want to watch it anywhere but the UK. So apparently the Aussies, the people over in Southeast Asia and America and stuff, this game can be found somewhere, so go and have a little search out because it's live on the box. Right, you know. So, but anyway, I know you've been on holiday, you've come back last night, so you haven't been to many pre-seasons, but have you heard about any of your signings, anybody that you're excited about?
Yeah, we're excited about the Mongolian international. What's his name?
Igor from Copenhagen.
Yeah. He's an exciting player.
Why did he drop from Copenhagen from Champions League to
I don't know. There's a lot of talk about that Champions League. And when you're in Champions League and all you're ever going to do is to play the heats, what's the point? It's good on the CV. It's not, you know.
At the end of the day, it's 6 games, probably 5 of which you'll lose.
Exactly.
And then you can move to a better division.
Exactly. It's a bit like Celtic in the Champions League. They got a noise, and you know, they got through again. They lost 6-1. They've got through now, haven't they? On this technical.
It's not much of a problem.
you could be playing Rotherham and Blackpool twice a year? Why play AC Milan and Barcelona twice a year?
Well, I didn't say that, but you know, you're not going to win, are you? So you know,
It's just all about willing, though, isn't it?
I'm sure the agent isn't concerned
well,
about the winning.
No, I think if you bring it interesting, you mention agent, the agent would want him on display on the edges of the Premiership, and obviously all players in the Championship are on the edges of the Premiership, and so you know, from his point of view, it's a good move. Charlton have signed him on a 5-year contract.
Do you think that's because Charlton are paying what lower teams in the Champions League could pay in wages? I think he's on big money.
I'm not sure what sort of money he's on.
You've got on a 5-year contract.
But I think what the agent will see is it's a route. Any playing for a Championship team like Charlton is a route to the Premiership. Is another route. It's not the only route, but it is another route. And you've got a better chance of being noticed that way, scoring goals for Charlton week in, week out. And he may well be just become a loyal servant of Charlton for 5 years. But you know, if he's any good,
I'll tell you why. He's got a manager link, hasn't he? Bob Peters has managed him twice.
That's right.
That's right. That's
but Richard Murray, who I Charlton chairman and now non-executive chairman, who I rate extremely highly, brilliant man, honourable man. He rates this chap.
So Tristan, you talk about Peters and you talk about the Belgian connection. So I mean, let's talk about this because obviously out goes Powell, and then out goes Regan. That's right.
Trialist.
So that's right. You know. But Charlton fans are actually quite happy with Regan because he turned you around because you were on a bit of a struggle and he rescued you. I mean, what's the score there? I mean, and then all of a sudden he was out of the job, and then another guy comes in who no one seems to know who the hell he is.
Well, I don't know. I think you've got to be careful because a lot of Belgian footballers, when you start to list the Belgian, when we saw the World Cup, not a bad team. You list how many of the Belgian first 11 would get in the England team, and he'd probably say about half the team, you know, are better than the England first 11. So, you know, you've got to ask yourself what they're doing in Belgium.
Are you worried about it becoming a Standard Leige feeder team, like a load of people, they call them sub-Standard Leige?
No, I don't. No, that's nice, thanks.
No, we've got to ask a question though, because we don't know.
So many players from the same route, from the same management.
There's one or two. There's not loads. There's one or two.
The Belgian Swindon Tottenham.
I don't think there's a prospect of you becoming a feeder club. But
no,
the kind of worry I'd have if I were a Charlton fan would be if these players were kind of all brought in by the owner, you know, by the owner and by kind of the owner's contacts. How kind of loyal are they going to be? Are they really going to kind of
I don't know.
Fight? Maybe they will. I mean, it's all down to play.
This is what I would say to you.
Put your head in here. Sorry about this. This is Joe from Valley Talk Blog as well, another Charlton fan.
We can discuss it.
Joe runs the Charlton fanzine as well, Valley Talk Blog. This is Cameron. This is Toby. Stuff like that.
The headline click, it will be a stellar season for Belgium.
And we're talking feeder clubs now and not feeder clubs. But it'd be interesting just to get your view on this, Joe.
I think Charlton. I know this is controversial. But I think Charlton are a bigger club than Standard Leige. So does Richard Murray. He says, I think where's Standard Leige going to go? Standard Leige cannot be promoted to the Premiership. Okay, Charlton can. So the reality is, Charlton.
I mean, the maximum chance.
If we're doing well, the money will drift towards.
I mean, the maximum of your potential would be mid-table Premier League, wouldn't it? To become a Premier League.
Go back to the club.
And you're right, though, that is bigger than. You're right. That is bigger than.
I think for me, it's quite an untested thing. It's a very untested formula, so we don't really know if it's going to work or not. You know, we've had Watford that won a good season, one iffy season with a similar kind of setup. So we really don't know how it's going to affect Charlton. I don't
think that's a similar setup at all, because the Montfort League is with the top talent in the club. Our league is with Standard Leige.
Oh yeah, who are the other ones? He's got a network. He said he's got four or five teams. So they're all like smaller, are they? So Standard Leige and Charlton.
Yeah, I mean, it might not be.
There's a couple of teams.
It might not be the same positioning within it, but the scouting, you know, the idea of sharing
whether they move players around,
sharing players as one network, and you know, it benefit you all benefit. It's a very similar situation.
Do you think players like you sort of, you know, Johnny Jackson, is it Laurie Wilson, who's a defender? Yeah, do you think they'll get equal run out? Do you think like that?
He wouldn't do it. He signed a new contract for Jackson, signed a new contract for Morrison. Old
so they're keeping a sort of an old guard on the spine.
And they're good players. You would keep your players. You try and keep your players, and there's no doubt that we're not trying to do that. I just think it's doing it in a different way to perhaps what we're used to. But I just think, you know, it's new.
Do you think the amount of players is manageable? Do you think it's a good number in, a good number out this year then?
I mean, I think it had to happen. It had to be a bit of an overhaul after last season.
There's a lot of, boring players that we let go.
Okay, Jan Kermorgan, he was one of your faves.
No, Kermorgan was not a boring player. The problem with Kermorgan, he was that good. You had to play matches around him. And we ended up, in my view, with a hoofing in the home games to Kermorgan to get it down to, you know, that's it.
It's weird, it's
one dimensional. He's a brilliant player. He's one of those players that you feel is from sweat, blood, and blood and tears to win a game.
But yeah, I mean, it's stuff. I think the last season, I don't know if you agree, but I thought that squad was a bit tired, a bit stale, and it did need a overhaul. So when I said it's a lot of players, perhaps that's what's needed. But it's really hard to say. I have no idea what to expect.
Stevens put on a while ago, a lot of Charlton fans didn't really rate Stevens. Stevens was absolutely class.
I thought he's great. I thought he's a great player. So
would you be annoyed now Hayne has moved on if he didn't play a game this year? Do you think that would be a waste of a player? Or?
No, Hayne was a goalkeeper. In many ways, goalkeepers in the Championship are a bit of a commodity. It's not that important.
Yeah, I agree with that. He was a popular figure, but I'm not sure he was that good. It's not,
you know, when you know it's a goalkeeper, it's when you're struggling against relegation, and that's not all one day.
Yeah, but we had Simon Moore where we weren't, and he won us points when we went up. You know, make a couple of saves here and there, and you know, he's got his card and done nothing. So his choice, you know, how many wages. and then lose all your appeals.
Actually, 2 seconds. Just quickly talk about. Just want to quickly talk about. There's a big issue for us. Adam Forshaw. The Adam Forshaw situation, as people may or may not know, we're going to come in for Adam Forshaw, brilliant player. They've come in, they've put the bid in. The rumours are, you don't know, that he possibly wants to leave. You know, it's not been made official yet. He's been told to go away and think about it. To try and not unruffle our squad. A couple of days before the end of the season, there's been a lot of toing and throwing. Our staff, our manager, our owner, they've gone absolutely mad about this whole thing. There's been a lot of unprofessional happening, especially a couple of days before the season. A lot of people should say this is something we should get used to. You develop good players and people poaching off you. But I don't know, it's a bit of an issue for us with the Forshaw scenario. Any views?
Have you heard anyone tapped out? Who's the last player you had tapped out?
Don't talk about
the West Ham, and then you've got your Gomez there, under 17. So, and he's getting looked at, and then you had Jenkinson of Arsenal tapped out.
why shouldn't we?
Yeah. We're not at top level.
Until we got enough money to get until we got to the Premiership and we can earn big money, then of course we're going to win. Arsenal, different money from us, Brentford, they lose that as well. So why shouldn't Charlton or Brentford?
I mean, I hear I hear the logical argument, but still, I don't know. I think there's a way about going about doing it. I mean, and also, you know, for it to happen so close to the beginning of the season for us as well.
Hang on, so you say, wait, I mean, what would you do? You would put your hands in your pockets and pay his wages, give us his wages.
Yeah, but you also don't put his ticket price. But you don't.
That's the issue. Overnight, someone can double your wages.
Yeah,
someone says.
Yeah, but you don't make first of all, you don't make a derisory offer that you know is not going to be accepted. You know what I'm saying? And it just cause a whole kerfuffle. That's the first thing. So you're basically throwing it, into the fire, and then you cause a kerfuffle.
That's the issue. They're offering decent wages and a rubbish fee. And if they offered him alright wage and an alright fee, he'd probably go, and we'd say, well done. You know, he's from the northwest. His girlfriend's up there. You know, we can see we are a selling club. The chairman has said that he wants us to be a good selling club. Look at Peterborough, 2.6 million in, 27 million out.
And the thing is, if you've got to be a good selling club, that means if it's not a good enough bid, you've got to say no.
Exactly, and
Which is what you've done.
Yeah, right, an excellent article.
Well, that's all about having a contract. The problem with us in employer is we didn't have a contract in place.
Was it a youth contract, was it?
28 day.
He only played a few games for us, actually.
Do you look that good that you want him?
About him, I don't think he's really outside. He's prone to lose the ball. He wants the ball a lot, but he's also prone to lose the ball. So I'm not sure he's going to be the player of his father's quality.
He's not the most flashy player there is. He's more of an artist.
Yeah, exactly.
You keep it composed player. For his age, he was very composed. But I mean, he wasn't kind of outstanding. He wasn't, you know what I mean? He was a good defensive midfielder.
Do you think he'll start a game for West Ham this year?
They're trying to change the play, aren't they?
I think he's the best player.
I think they're trying to look like they're trying to.
They're trying to get one extra touch before he goes to the last table. Andy Carroll heading on the goal kick.
Completely wrong about Jenkinson. I've got to see Jenkinson play for Charlton a few times. He didn't play that many games.
He only had a half season.
He did look a bit rusty to look out of his depth and then suddenly he's playing for Arsenal and he looked a bit embarrassing initially for Arsenal and then a couple of Champions League games to play. He looked bloody brilliant. So you don't always know. It's amazing how you think the great players disappear in bigger teams and then players don't think it's a good come through.
So listen, let's bring it to today, the big game, first game of the season. Like I said to you, it's difficult for us because we're in the Championship, we've got no idea what to expect, you know what I'm saying? You guys have been there for a couple of seasons and you're well versed and you obviously know about the step up.
I think we've got a very exciting team this season. We've got some great young players, brilliant young players. Harriet, Gomez will probably be in the team of playing all the friendlies.
We've got to talk about the French player as well. What's his name?
Andy Delors.
Yeah, Delors. We've got to talk about Delors. Just quickly talk about the Delors scenario because he's signed for every single club in the first 2 divisions in the last week and a half, hasn't he? And he's still not landed with you yet, has he?
He's, I don't know, he's enamored of the fans.
He's what?
He loves the fans. He's like retweeting.
Oh no, I've seen that, but I mean, not be funny, but...
Well, I think he loves anyone who gives him a bit of credit.
But he's not signed yet.
He's driving to the training grounds, waving.
It was all a fee hadn't been agreed in personal terms, but you know, he wants to go.
Overexcited agent, probably.
Yeah, it is a very overexcited agent.
Jerry Maguire.
From what I've heard, is the deal's not done with that lad until it's done. You know what I'm saying? He could end up at Barnsley.
The team he's with in France played last night, and he wasn't in the squad, so.
No. I think we got a really good team.
Definitely one of us.
I think we struggled today, Jim.
Yeah?
Because it's a new team for us.
Yeah, I agree. I think Charlton fans need to be aware that it might take a bit of time for a lot of new players.
I mean, that's what I was looking at. I think in our squad there are only really 12 players who could. There's only really one question about who will start in our team. Well, I was looking at the Charlton squad, and I was thinking, yeah, he could start. There are 16, 17 players who could all start. You're not very, you're not as sure as the starting 11. And early in the season, that might make a difference.
I'm a bit worried about today from our point of view.
I think you'll be fine. I do think you'll be
fine. We played Bournemouth last season. It was their first game up.
Oh, was it Bournemouth?
The crowd was well up for it. You know, the team was well up for it. They've been looking forward to it for 6 months. As I'm sure the Brentford players and fans have. So it's a tough day.
And then again, you're in a new era as well. I mean, you'll be well up. You think you.
Yeah, I guess that's right. Yeah.
And at the end of the season, if you finish below Brentford, will that have been a good season or a bad season?
Depends where you finish.
I don't think so.
Well, people look back and say we're definitely better than these. We've been doing it, saying, are there 4 worst teams, 3, 5, 6 worst teams? Will we be in a relegation dogfight? Yeah, I'd take staying up on goal difference or staying up on a Celtic technicality. At the minute.
Yeah, I know.
Will you finish above Millwall?
No, hang on. Yeah, I think if we don't finish above you, that's because you've had a good season. And if you ask me to bet my house on finishing above you this season, I wouldn't. If you ask me to bet my house on us finishing above you on the average of the next 5 seasons, so you may have a good season because people don't know how you play. A lot of that happens when you come on. You can go either way. Either you foul or you the first part of the season. People don't know how you play, and they're surprised and tactic.
All right, so come on, today's game. Let's just quickly go around the table. We're going to wrap this up now. I want you to put your head on the block and give us a result for today's game. Cameron.
2-1 Charlton.
2-1 Charlton. DLT.
I'm very pleased with the draw.
Draw, score, anything.
1-1.
1-1, okay.
I said 1-1 as well.
Okay.
It's going to be hot out there, and it's massive that we don't lose. As you see last year, it was like 90% of the teams that lost in the first day, when teams got relegated, they'd lost in the first day of the season. I think it's going to be a 0-0 or a 1-0. I think it's going to be really tight.
I'm going to go for the I'm going to go 1-0 for Brentford.
I'm going to go 2-1 to
Brentford.
One small point.
Yes.
Is that our team is playing the ball on the ground.
Yeah.
Luke Peters, that's his philosophy, playing the ball on the ground. And your pitch is pretty small.
Yeah.
And that would benefit us, I'd say.
We play the ball on the ground as well. We're totally different to when you saw us.
Nervy,
we're not,
yeah. Okay, listen, thank you very much, lads, for coming down the globe today. We've had a good little chin wag, and so we're both excited for the season. Hopefully the French guy will turn up somewhere at some stage. Hopefully Adam Forshaw will stay.
He might be dressed in Busby.
Stay at Brentford. Check us out. We're going to be doing more of these, just sitting around and chatting and talking about football. Thank you much, lads, and good game.
Thank you.
All right then, cheers. See you lads.
The FIFA sanctioned handshakes.
He's good.